Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's week three. It's week three. So we're going to focus on the rest of the connection and go or conversation, and then focus on some of the connection. But where we're at right now is that we've been really taking everything in steps into our business. One with the one team story time calls, and thank you for all that have presented and helped and invited and really been a huge part of those calls. It was time to move to the next level, and we did it fast. I do things fast. I don't feel a need to drag things out. If you make a decision, you just need to go for it and go follow through. So to help explain, if anyone's questioning, how did this come up and how did it come up so fast? There was a sign every single day coming to me for the last 3 or 4 days that we need to move on to the next level. And so that's where we're at. We've already started this next level. So now it's just a matter of putting it in place. And thank you, Isogenics, for keeping it simple for us and giving us the presentation, giving us the slide deck. Thank you, Isogenics and Jim Lupkins, for giving us the words and the training. And so what we have been doing over this last year are building an arsenal of stories, huge arsenal of stories, so that if when we meet someone, they make a comment of, well, I'm going through this, can you help me with that? Well, yes, I can. Oop, Keisha wants in. I can, absolutely. Let's see, Sherry, can I make you co-host? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. All right. Oh, Renee, I made you co-host, sorry. Sometimes it moves on me. So Renee, you're my co-host. Help me let people in. Thank you. So, people are going to come to us and this is what's going on in my life. Can you help us with that? And well, yes, I can. And along with Jim's formula, he has a very specific formula, just like Kimberly's been teaching you. So again, we've already been learning these things. We've already been experiencing and bringing them to our tool belt of the formula to say on sponsored ads. Kimberly uses a formula. We know that formula works. So Jim has a formula on how to speak to people. And now, his formula is product fact, testimonial, call to action. So now we all have this arsenal of product facts, testimonials. Now we just need to bring it together and add a call to action. And the call to action is something that a lot of people skip. And I know even some of you on this call have admitted that's not one of your strong points. And I've heard it from a few other people before. Closing is a skill. Well, yes, it's a skill, but it's an easily learned skill. And you just have to learn it, apply it, practice it over and over and over again until it becomes your skill. So if you don't feel that closing is your skill, don't worry about it. Do this program, hear Jim's words, start putting it out there, and you'll be able to close. The point is just doing it. So we have this huge arsenal. Kimberly's working on the website. I think I keep talking to my assistant, but I think I have all of the recordings in there. They were starting to move them around and compile them, so they were very easy to see. I don't see that happening right now, so I'll be revisiting that so that when you go to our YouTubes, you'll be able to see all the one team story time. You can easily go back to each of the events. The recordings are all there. We have them in so many places, but please know that we're working on making it very, very easy for you to just grab and take. So you've got your arsenal of stories. You've heard stories over and over and over from people on how this product has worked for them, where they came from. Most of them were skeptical, and where they are today. So as you're meeting with people and having these conversations and and they bring their objections to the table, you can cover that because you've heard, I don't know, let's just say 90 plus stories in the last 8 months of people who are going to have gone through those objections that you're going to receive. So if you need to hear how to overcome people's objections, go back and listen to some of those stories. And because they'll tell you, some of them were very upfront of, I didn't want to, I got talked into it, I was going to return my box, you know, all of that stuff. I didn't believe. Here I am today, 8 years later. So you have your stories, your arsenal, your belief. Now we've been working on inviting people, and we've been focusing on how to invite. We've been focusing on how to use private messenger as a way to invite, how to use the actual invites as a way to invite. We've been using live videos on how to invite, right? So we're getting the whole gamblet of how to invite people. Now, Jim is just going to help us perfect it a little bit more, make it a little bit more simple. And again, it might spread it out a little bit more over time, but he's going back to how can we make people feel great? Not just giving them a copy paste, but how do we make them feel great? Like we really are watching everything. So now we're at the next level of let's enroll. We need to enroll people. We don't want to mess around anymore. We feel comfortable. We've got all of this down. People are in a place where they're having a life experience. With Jim's program, as well as how we know this works, people have to like, know, trust, and respect us. They have to believe that we believe in what we're doing. All right. If you've been advertising these one team story times anytime over the last 8 months, they've seen you. They see your passion. They know that you're involved in something big, and they believe that you believe. Okay. They don't believe yet. Otherwise, they would have called you, or they needed a life experience. Now, so again, covered that phase, right? That's another phase that we have covered. Now people are having life experiences. They're afraid of their health. They're afraid of going to the stores. They're afraid of getting sick. They're afraid of their family members getting sick. They're afraid of losing their jobs. They're afraid of not making money. So pretty much everyone we're speaking to is having some kind of life experience. Life experiences are either they are going through it themselves or someone that they know and love is going through that. How many of you have someone or yourself going through any one of those situations that I just listed? Are we all? Okay, right? And we're in a good situation, right? So think about the people that aren't in this type of situation. So we have all of this stuff compiled. So what we're going to be doing now between Kimberly, Brent, and myself, we're going to start there, and then we'll expand as needed. But we're going to start really perfecting presentations. And these presentations are going to be, how can we help you, whether it's your health, your mind, your body, or your wealth. And give them that actual presentation. So again, that next level. But how do we invite people to get on these calls? So that's what we're going to focus on today. Hello, Monique. Thank you for joining us. All right. So last week we did a portion of communication or community. We did all the community and a part of conversation. Today we're going to do more of conversation. I'm actually going to do a decent amount of Jim's videos, because nobody does things like Jim when it comes.
They really don't.
They don't. When it comes to that, I can't.
Oh my gosh, I'm not muted. Oh my word.
That was perfect, Monique. That really was. I'm good with that. I'm good with participation. And when it comes to backing up stuff like that, that was perfect. So nobody can duplicate his words. We can duplicate them written down. I don't want to confuse that. But for me to duplicate the way Jim teaches, I can't do. I've taught his program hundreds of times. I can't do it exactly the same way he does. So we're just going to play his video for a decent amount of these. These are all free for you in the group. So you can re-watch and watch his conversation video as many times as you want. The community connection and conversation are not, okay? But communication, but conversation is. So let's get started. So where we left off with last week is the relationship is at its strongest by you representing yourself correctly. All right. And in the network marketing industry, we have a tendency to over exaggerate because we want to show the diamonds, and not necessarily like diamonds, but we want to show the glitter and all of that. And really, we've been hoping to change the network marketing industry for a while now to not exaggerate. Be real with people. And part of Jim's program that we're going to be sharing tonight is showing people exactly where you're at. So when you do your message, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but work with me. But if you're working, if right now, if what you're doing is earning you or working you towards earning free product, then you need to say that. I'm doing this because I'm working towards earning free product with the company. And I'll give you these exact words and I'll have Jim go through it. The next step, once you start receiving enough money for your free product, then you want to take it to, now that I've started to earn my free product, I'm working on spare cash. Then the next one, now that I've earned spare cash, now I'm working on part-time. Once you earn part-time, now I've earned part-time income. Now I really want full-time income, right? And you take them on your journey as to where you're at. You can always use somebody else's income. That's real. We do not exaggerate incomes whatsoever. That is unethical, and there is no integrity in doing that. But you can use somebody else's. That's a real situation. So myself, Kimberly, whoever you want to use, even Linda on our team is a great example because she really truly shows residual income. She's earning money that she put forth the effort into earning early in her career. And 5 years later, she worked really hard for 3 years. Now she doesn't work quite so hard, but the income is still there. Now it's dropped, of course, but she had enough room to let it drop for her to really not be working much at all. To have this income come in is really quite crazy. But that's the beauty. That's the goal with network marketing. So you can even use that. So talk to me privately and I'll get her okay, if that's okay. And we'll do that. If you don't use her name, then, of course we're okay. It does come down to how many conversations are you willing to have each day as to how big you will grow. That really is, that's all it is, right? Your conversations have to be good. They have to be truthful. They have to be real. They have to be something of integrity that they want to speak with you. And then you've got to have the match on their end that they saw your message or heard from you, that you have a relationship with them and deep enough, and that you did a call to action. So you have to do your part, and then we've got to do our part to match up with them. And depending on how many conversations you're having per day will reflect in your income. So if you're not earning what you want to be earning, those are the things that you have to look at in great detail. But that's what we're going through during this. And I'll go over the social media training with you guys all you want, because this is really the ground base for everything. So every day, print out your Facebook list like we've talked about in the past. And every day you start with the last person you spoke to. You start with the next person, right? So you're just going through person to person to person. So some people have different methods. You might go A through Z, Z through A, or you might pick different areas. And those are some of the things that Jim's going to be talking to us about. But maybe you pick people that you went to school with, or maybe you pick people in your area or in your state, or, from the schools or from circles that you're in, or, your city. That's up to you. Whatever direction you want to pick. But the key is we have to make a relationship with them, have it be deep enough so that we can do a call to action. All right. So what do you say? If it's been more than 90 days, and this is why we love to have people use private message. Now with Facebook and people not using Facebook quite as much anymore, you've got to rely on other methods, but try to be consistent. And if you have the opportunity to use the Penny app takes care of it for you. So if you're not just using.
Sorry, Stephanie.
Yep.
It's Monique. What is Penny App?
Penny App is something, I knew you were going to ask that, so I'm glad you did. Penny App is an app that is available to different types of companies. So it is available to you. Your company may or may not know about it yet. We were the second company to know about it.
What does it do?
It's a virtual assistant.
So, yeah.
So look it up. We'll have to explain the whole thing to you at a different
All
time.
right. Okay. No problem.
But when you look it up, Monique,
Yeah.
you want to look for a purple girl's profile. That's the app that you're looking for.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's lots of information about it. And if
No, I'm sorry, Stephanie. I just
you're fine.
thank you
If your
for
company doesn't know about it yet, then you might want to suggest it to them.
I will, but thank you for describing the logo, right? Because too many times you see,
Sherry's
which one is it?
Oh, no, Sherry, I can't see anything. Sherry's going to show you though. Because there are two different pennies. And so make sure you get on the right one. There's a free version. And there we go. There's a free version and a paid version. You're fine to get started with the free version, but you will want the paid version at some point. How many of you are actually using Penny and using it daily? Okay, Debbie, Renee, excellent. Very good. Keisha, excellent. Okay, good. All right. So Penny will help you keep track. So if you are using text message or private or, all the different forms of ways of connecting with people, Penny will keep track of that for you. If you're not using Penny, you're really trying to figure out when was the last time I contacted them, if you're not strictly just using private message. If you're strictly using private message, all you need to do is look up and you'll know the last conversation you had with them. And when we're speaking about conversation, we're not talking about you sending them something. We're talking about a conversation that's a ping pong back and forth. Because if you're just sending them something and they're not responding, it's not a conversation. You're not deep enough in the relationship for them to feel connected to you. And that's why they have not responded back. That's all there is to it. And going through Jim's program, I got to rebuild a ton of relationships that I thought I already had a deep enough relationship to that I could just invite them. But going through Jim's program and them not responding to me, I'm like, well, all right, there's the answer. I've got to take the time and refocus on rebuilding. Hi, how's it going? Oh my gosh, are you guys okay? Because we're going through this again. How are you? And you rebuild a conversation with them. It doesn't have to last long, but you've got to get that trust factor back with them, that you care for them as a person. And with Jim's program, it is all about caring for someone that friendship matters most. And friendship, it's a large term. It doesn't have to mean that you want to go spend lunch with them, but it's enough of a friendship where you recognize them, you care about them, you know a little bit about what's going on in their life. And it could have been just because you did enough research, but you do care, and they know that. They know that you're not just trying to make a dollar off of them. That's very, very important. And that's the step that people can skip because they want to get to the sale. But that's the step that will prevent us from getting the sale if they don't have that connection with us. So super important. Now, if it's been less than 90 days and you do have that connection with them, they see your message, they have a connection with you, and they're going through a life experience, that's when they're going to respond. But if they haven't had a life experience yet, they may not respond now. But that's when you pick up and you establish that continued relationship with them. Please mark in the chat for me, how long did it take you to say yes from the first time someone reached out to you? Okay, let's just put that into the chat. For this program, I myself, I think it took 3 times for that person to connect with me, and it was a few years. With another company, it was 2 weeks every day. And it was the president of the company reaching out to me every day for 2 weeks, and I finally said yes. So, you see it. 3 months, 4 calls, 4 times, it's all over the board. And did it have anything to do with how it was presented to you? Did it have things to do with where you were at in your life? What helped you? Why did you not say yes immediately, and why did you say yes when you did? Let's go ahead and put that in the chat. I'm going to keep talking. You guys write that in there. All right, so we talked about that. Business will follow. So when we focus on the relationship, instead of focusing on creating a sale, bigger doors will open. And a lot of that comes from them just having their life experience and knowing that I'm going to connect with Vicky. I can't believe this is happening to me. Here we are, but I remember Vicky talking about what she offered people. I'm going to call Vicky. So that person didn't have a life experience then, but then once they had that life experience, you come to mind. So that's why it's so important for us to keep our markets open, right? Post things on our walls, let people know, invite them to different things, let them know we're still here, add them to our Facebook groups, all of that. But until that life experience happens, they're not ready to say yes. But you are the person that they think of when that happens, because, oh, here we go. I'm in that situation. I know exactly who I'm calling. Or they come across a friend and a friend needs something. They're like, I've got the girl for you. I know exactly who you should connect with, because you had a deep relationship with the person, and it wasn't right for them at that time, or it wasn't right for them, or it's still not right for them, but they respect you, and they feel like you really will take care of them. They know that you're with a situation and a company that will take care of them, and you've proven yourself over and over by showing them different examples, testimonials, stories, all of those different things that we've been doing to let them know, I'm here. When it's your turn and your time, I am here and I will take care of you. They have to know that. And especially with what's happening today, that's what people are going to feel most comfortable with. They're so unknowns that nobody wants to hook up with an unknown situation. They don't want to spend money that they may not have next year in an unknown situation. No one wants to buy product off of a shelf that they hope will work. They want to know, this is going to work for me. This is going to make a difference. I can't handle any unknowns. I've got to know. So again, all these things that we've been doing have built us up to be here so that people know. Now we just need to help them understand that we really truly can make that difference for them, and we're doing that right now. All right. For those that you have a great relationship with, you need to call them. You need to ask them to get on the phone with you, find out if they have 10 minutes, and share what you have to offer. And I have a formula and I have a conversation for you to follow with that. But if you have a really close relationship with them, just make that call, right? It may or may not be for them, but maybe they know somebody else. If you see a message on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you're doing, and you see them going through something, you need to take that situation. And I'm so sorry that you're going through that. I empathize with you. And these are not Jim's words, so hopefully I'm doing them correctly. But I do have something that can help with that, and you give a little product fact. In fact, this is what it's either done for me or for somebody else. Go back to your arsenal, dealing with what they have to offer. Can I give you a call? Are you available for 10 minutes? And do everything you can to get them on the phone. If they can't get on the phone, see if you can do a video message on private message. If you can't do that, then do a message. But somehow you need to be in communication with them, especially if something's going on right now, especially if they have a life experience happening at this moment. Now, they may or may not want to speak with you, but if you even just reach out and say, I'm here when you're ready, I'm here. they're going to remember that. So again, always come in with respect. They will remember that. It's, as we know, it's always about how do we make people feel. So we've got to help them to feel loved, cared for, but that you have an answer, because that's what they're looking for. All right. Okay. So conversation can be based on their post. I've seen you post about this. I've seen you post, I'm just going to do some examples. I've seen you post in the past about how you wanted to lose some weight. Just want to let you know, I've lost 20 some pounds, and I believe it was from a particular product or ingredient that does this. Can I give you a call? Do you have 10 minutes and I can share this information with you? Right? When people post information, they're looking for an answer. They're at that moment, that they're at that experience. They don't want this anymore. People don't lead up, they don't post publicly leading up to what they're looking for. They're looking for something, they're looking right now. So you've got to help them right now. They may not want to hear from you right now, but you have to act right now. Now, when and I'm going to play Jim's video for this, but when we're dealing with social influencers, because we hear this all the time, I just want to share with people interested in the business. I just want to share with people who want to make money. I just want to share with people who can really expand my business. I have words and I have a formula on how you can do that. But I also want to let you know that receiving a social networker that's already in business is very, very, very low. It's like a 1% opportunity. Most people are pretty happy with their company, and we don't want to take away from other companies. That's not what we're doing. But there are things you can say to find out, are they happy? Are they still with that other company? Or maybe they're not even in network marketing, but they're still a social influencer looking for that, and they have big networks and so on. So there are ways to do that, but please know I am so against taking teams from other companies. I've had it happen to me a couple times, and it doesn't matter if it's 5 PET, 10, 12, 15, wherever it hurts. It hurts big time. And so that's not what we're trying to do in network marketing. We're trying to build the entire industry. But if they're going to leave, then show them a way. If they've already left, show them a way. If they're in a different type of industry, show them a way. Great. If you ever question that, let me know. Okay, let's play some of Jim's videos. All right, let me hold on. Any questions so far while I bring this up?
Okay, so about these 1,000 Facebook friends, you've already learned that 800 of them are rebuilt.
Can you hear okay?
We already learned that out of the 200 remaining,
Cannot,
20%,
yes, no?
or about 40, or like a Mark Johnson,
I can't really hear.
that left us with 160. We learned in the last video that about 20% of the
No.
160 that are left over, about 32.
Stephanie, did you have that little button?
Doesn't be very
Dick?
specific. Did you know something
No, but I'll work on something.
in the past about this person that you can focus
Yes,
on
no,
and connect or relate it to your existing business?
better.
Better.
That leaves you still with about 130 people. So what do you say to these
Let's
people?
skip some of this.
Well, I'm going to show you the sent this message. It was on
Here we go.
August 4th. Now let's look at the last time we spoke. So let's see here.
And you can see, right?
So as you can see here, we spoke on June 27th. And when I sent this message, it was on August 4th, which means it was within 90 days. So I know that I don't have to rebuild the relationship with her. I also know that maybe I don't have a deep enough relationship with her to just say, hey, let's jump on the phone. So I knew that I had to talk to her first through Facebook message, which was part of the 160 people. I did know that the 20% where I can customize it, maybe I didn't know enough about her, so I couldn't really customize it. So she fell into the 80% where I had to keep it generic. And this was the generic message. Hey, Karen, my new book, Never Run Out of People to Talk to, is doing exceptionally well. I think because people just don't want to never run out of people to talk to. People are contacting me and letting me know that they're signing up new customers and social influencers because of what they're learning in the book, and that made me think of you. Can I get you some information on the program and show you how it can help your team? So the product fact, the testimonial, and the call to action. Look at the paragraph. It's important that you don't memorize a script because people can tell when you're using someone else's words. So you don't want to copy what I wrote word for word. Instead, you just want to use the 3 bullets and then use your own words to make it your own. So when I look at this, the product fact is the first paragraph. My new book, Never Run Out of People to Talk to, is doing exceptionally well. It is. That's a fact. I think because people just don't want to never run out of people to talk to. That's also a fact. The testimonial is the second paragraph. People are contacting me and letting me know that they're signing up new customers and social influencers. Now, I didn't use myself as a personal customer or a personal testimonial because she already knows my background. And then the last paragraph is the call to action. Can I get you some information on the program? You notice here, she said, of course. Now, why did she say over the last 6 years? She does when it comes to social media because she's seen me of our social media system over the last 6 years, real deal, life experience. Meaning she is open to social. Now, could I have customized it? Yes. If I knew something from her past that I could have added in here, I would have done it. So now think about your business. It doesn't matter if you're a small business owner, a chiropractor, someone in network marketing. You can do this for every single product and service. Every single product or service. You just need to share your testimonial, share a fact, and ask if they'd like to take a look at it. This is a generic. Now let's go show you, if you are a social influencer, what are the different options that you have. Okay, so you're a social influencer. You're not a company owner, small business owner. And what a social influencer by definition means is you have used a product or service by a company that you really, really like. And now you want to tell all of your friends about it. And the company is going to pay you a commission for it. The type of companies that would put you as a social influencer might be an affiliate company, a party plan company, direct sales, adopting social influencer compensation plans. But until we get there, let's just talk about the groups that it pertains to today. So you are a social influencer and you're reaching out to your friends. Now, remember in the past videos, I talked about you have 1,000 Facebook friends. And we know that 80% of all of your Facebook friends are in the rebuild relationship. So on 1,000, that means you have 200 left over. We also know out of the 200 that 20% of them are a Mark Johnson where you can just say, hey, let's get on the phone. That leaves you with about 160 people. We know out of the 160 people that 20% of them, you can customize it. So that leaves you with about 130 people. So those 130 people as a social influencer, maybe using the generic message from the previous video doesn't work because you're a social influencer. So here's what I recommend. As a social influencer, it's important you go in these stages because you're going to pique the interest of people a lot faster. So if you can look on my screen right now, check out this message. Hey, Marianne, how are you doing? I've been using a weight loss product for a while now, and I've lost 15 pounds. There's my testimonial. I think I've lost the weight because the product helps to curb my appetite. There's the fact. I'm now trying to get the product for free by referring friends on Facebook. Would you happen to want to check it out to either lose weight or be healthy overall? That's the call to action. So as a social influencer, we added in that one extra line, which is the second paragraph. Why do we do that? Because if you're not a small business owner or you don't own a company, if you're reaching out to people, they may not understand why you're really reaching out to them. So we have to let them know. And you can't reach out to them saying, I just joined this company, I lost a bunch of weight, it's curbing my appetite, and I'm gonna make $10,000 a month doing it. You wanna get in, it's gonna make us a ton of money. And that person may have no interest in making a ton of money. You totally just turn them off. But because you don't know how to customize it, because you don't know their past, you have to do it generic. Well, the best way to do it generic is by talking about what's happening today. What is believable to your friend? For example, if you're making $50,000 a year at your day job and you're a social influencer at night, will your friends believe you when you say, let's make 10 grand a month? They don't understand the magnitude of that question or the reality of how much work has to be put in to really make that money. It's an effort over a long period of time. It's worth it, yes, but we have to meet people with where they're going to believe today. So while you saying to them, I'm trying to get the product for free by referring friends on Facebook, that is believable to them. That makes sense to them. They're not going to ask you, well, how much money are you making? Well, are you doing well? If you say, we're going to make thousands of dollars a month, but you haven't made 10 cents yet, they're going to ask those questions and you're going to say, oh, well, no, not yet, but I'm working towards it. Then their response is, well, just give me a call when you actually are making money. Don't make it about the money. Make it about where you are today. So when you first get started as a social influencer in any company, your very first goal should be to get the product for free. That's why you're sharing this. Now, the best social influencers to join your business are the ones that truly have a commitment and passion for your product or service. It's not people that just want to make money because they quickly will run off to the next great opportunity. It's finding people that have a genuine love for what your product or service represents. So if I sent this to Marianne and she really does want to lose weight and she really wants to be healthy, and she sees that, oh wow, Jim wants to get this product for free. Sure, I want to lose the weight, and yeah, I'm going to help Jim out because he's my friend. I have a relationship with him. I have influence over her regards to this product. Why? Because she sees that I lost the weight. That's influence. That shows her that I walk the walk with this product. And I just need to know if she has a life experience. If she responds back and says yes, that means she probably had a life experience in the past for her to say yes. Now,
Okay, now, hold on, let me pause his.
so how,
Now, when Jim has done this program, we were not in a pandemic. We were not in a situation where people were losing their jobs. So I think that, it is absolutely important that we find out what's going on with them, but I think you can move that money conversation along a little faster, but you've got to go with what he talked about of where you're at. Well, right now I just want to get free food for my family, or free products, or whatever that is that could relate to the pandemic. Because that's all people are thinking of right now. So we need to relate to them for that. But I'm working on getting free groceries for my family delivered directly to my door, so I don't have to go outside or go to the stores and earn additional income to help pay for rent. Right? You can talk the language of where people are at. So I think you can bring up money much faster because we're in a pandemic. And this is where we are, but we again just have to go through it correctly. All right. And next I want to move on to another one, and it's about the money talk.
are you enjoying this up to this point? Do you see the evolution that's happening? Do you see how it's easy to reach out to people and not hype, not build up something that's not really true? One of the scariest things that happen for social influencers is you give people the wrong expectations. You make them believe that they really don't have to work to make money, or that they really don't have to do anything and they can get rich overnight. That's one of the plagues within the internet world. And this social media system will put an end to that. Why? Because we focus on customer acquisition, customer driven, selling products and services. And then if you love the product or service, it only makes sense to tell your friends about it so that you can benefit off of it. But we have to share it with our friends in a way that they see the benefit as real, as tangible. Okay, so let's check out the paragraph. You notice I kept the same exact paragraph, but I modified the middle paragraph. I'm sorry, the message, but I modified the middle paragraph. So let me read the middle paragraph out loud. I'm getting the product for free by referring friends on Facebook, earned a spare and part-time income, and now I'm trying to earn a full-time income by referring even more people. Now I deleted a few words in there to kind of throw you for a loop. Why? Because I don't want you to think this is the script. Remember, scripts don't work. What does work is understanding the bullets within the script and then creating the message based on your own personality. Now, here's what's going to happen. Marianne has a relationship with me. Once again, she's going to look at the message and look at it in a serious way. I have influence with her over the product or service, yes, because I'm losing weight. And I also have influence with her on the business side. Why? Because she sees that I'm getting the product for free. I did earn a spare and part-time income already, and now I'm trying to earn a full-time income. She sees that I'm working through a journey and she's part of it. It becomes believable. Now, because I'm focused on the product or service, she sees that I'm not focused on the money. That makes her focus on the product or service. Most people will focus on the product. Sure, I'll check out the product. Most people won't say to you, oh, wow, how much money are you earning? They won't focus on the opportunity. The only ones that will ask that in this time are people that had a life experience where they really need to make money. And even with those people, your response back is, let's talk on the phone and let's chat about it, but you keep it focused on the product or service, because if they don't believe in the product or service the way that you believe, they will never make the money that they need to make.
Now, I just want to talk about that a little bit because of the pandemic. So we can keep it product focused. And the reason why you can keep it product focused is because if we're going to ask them to come in and make money, they've got to believe in this product, whether that's their concern or not. They just need to make money, right? Their head is, I just got to make money. But in order for them to actually make money, they have to show other people they have a belief in the product. So that's where you can talk about a quick response to your story, find out, do they have some areas in their life that we can help with our product, and find out, do they know other people as well? Because that's going to be another key. And we can keep bringing in people that need money and need money and need money, but someone's got to buy in order to actually make the money. So it is still product focused, but keep in mind, you can do a couple little tweaks because of the pandemic, but overall, they still have to have a belief in the product and the solutions that are offered. All right, questions? Otherwise, I'm going to move on to another video. I want to get as many of these as I can. Questions? Okay.
The second type of person is somebody that does respond back, but they say no. They say not interested. They say, oh, Jim, thanks for that, but I'm really not interested.
Okay, I'm going to stop that real fast. I didn't play what happens if somebody doesn't respond. Then basically what that is you, if they don't respond, then you accept it and move on. And you do not let it get into your head. All that we're focused on are the people that say yes or that ask questions. So I skip that part because that's a simple one. Just move on.
They say something that ends up being a no. Now, if you have superior communication skills, you may have some comeback that can turn them around. But the reality is most people, and maybe you, but most people don't have those communication skills. And they take years and years and years to develop. It's why you only have certain people that are really great at sales, because it takes a true art to be able to talk to people in a certain way. So most people are at the very beginning of their careers and they have yet to develop those deep communication skills. So what is the most authentic, transparent, and real way that you can respond to somebody? Well, if these people are your real friends, you're not going to try to change their mind. You're just going to accept them for where they are and you're going to move on. Now, the reason why you can easily...
Okay, we're going to move on.
The next type of person is going to respond back to you and say, sure, I'll check it out. Or they'll ask questions. No matter if they ask questions or say, yes, they'll check it out, you send a message like this. Fantastic. I'm going to add you to our Facebook group so that you can see what others think about our products. Feel free to chat with others in the group. Now, why do we do that? Because of social proof. Instead of you trying to be the person that explains everything, let the thousands of people in your Facebook group get your friend excited. It's much more contagious and it's much more exciting for somebody that's new to see the power of numbers instead of you instead of them just hearing something from one person. I will also tag you in a video so that you can get a quick 2-minute presentation. Give him direction or give her direction when they're inside the group that you're expecting that person to watch a 2-minute video to explain your entire service or product. And then a call to action was I'll follow up with you tomorrow. Or if you're busy,
Okay, so let's talk about that real fast. So they say yes, you add them to the Facebook group, you tag them to a video that you would like for them to watch, and maybe you tag them to testimonials. Kimberly, I'm not quite sure about your product group, but last week I went back in and I started doing the topics, and I started tagging different testimonials. So what we need to work on is actually have like a unit full of testimonials. So it's really easy for people to see result, 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 right? Not just to have it thrown in, but just be overloaded with all of the results. You can also connect them with someone else, either someone that's had the same experience or your upline, so that your upline can show them the bigger picture, both with the product as well as to find out if they are interested in the opportunity as well. Your upline will know how to do that. All right. If you're putting them into the group and they're not quite ready to say yes or no just yet, they're kind of just there, then that's who you definitely want to invite onto our opportunity calls that we're beginning, because our point is to sell them on the opportunity calls immediately. All right, so next one is always to focus on your core values. And he's going to talk about that somewhere in here, but I want to give you as many as I can. But focus on your core values, not just focusing on getting big business. Focus on your core values and live them out. So if you don't know your core values, you really need to think about them, write down your top 5, and make sure that you're showing your core values, both in your social media, your life, your Facebook groups, anywhere that you can, that it's not just all business, but who are you as a person? Let's see. So those are the yes. Da, 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 da. All right. So they're in the Facebook group. We're getting testimonials. Now we're going to do one last one on follow-up.
So you added a friend to your Facebook group, the customer Facebook group, and now you're following up. And this is what the message looks like. Hey, Marianne, just following up. Can I call you today to chat about what you saw in the group? Maybe a 10-minute call. And like I said in that last message, there is no pressure. My friendship with you is what matters most. I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon. So this is my personality, but what's the bullets that you need to have? And then you write it based on your personality. Well, first one is, can I call you today to chat about what you saw in the group? That's a bullet. A second one is letting them know that it will be a short call, maybe a 10-minute call. And then the third bullet is letting them know that there really is no pressure. The friendship with them is more important than if they do business with you. Those are the 3.
Now that's going to help us in this situation where people's heads are spinning. We don't want to add more pressure to people. We don't want people to think we're trying to pressure them into something so that we can make more money, because their heads are spinning. They're not thinking clearly. They obviously need more ionics. But when we add comments like that, my friendship with you is what matters most. That helps to take away the pressure. Even though we're doing everything we can to build that business relationship with them, we're still stepping back. My friendship is what matters most. I'm here for you. Are you available for a 10-minute call? And then you also learn how to invite them to our business presentations too. And the ultimate situation is inviting them to do a call with you is number 1. Inviting them to do a video message with you so they can hear you, see you. That's number 1. Number 2, right? Whichever one you can do. I prefer phone call with people I don't know, video call with people I do, but that's how I do things. And then you invite them to the business opportunities and to the Facebook, but you want to get that personal connection with them first. You want to bond with them, especially if they are a little imbalanced right now with everything going on. They need a nice voice. They need someone who will listen to them, but trust me, you don't want to take on listening to people. And here I'm going to take away from Jim's program for a moment. I'm going to give you guys a big tip on how you can protect yourself from other people's energy, right? So whether you believe in the God, the universe, whatever you believe in, say a prayer when you start these situations and ask to be protected, to put a curtain around you, a shield around you, to not bring in other people's energy. This is really important because we want to empathize with people, but we cannot sympathize with them. We cannot take on their responsibilities. We can offer them solutions. It's really important to know that difference because you're in mass action to take care of a lot of people. If you get someone who takes an hour to 2 hours of your time telling you about what's going on with them, you'll never be able to help the 29 other people that need your help that day. I want you to always remember that. So if you feel like you're giving a good service and you're really trying to help someone, you've lost out on helping so many more other people by taking that with that person. Now, certainly give them time and certainly give them that attention, but there's only so much time. I like 5 to 10 minutes. And I'll even set my timer if I know it's going to go on for a while, because I can't take on their energy. I've got to keep my energy in place in order to help them and in order to help other people. All right. It's super, super important for someone that's been in this business a long time. Please, please, please take that in. All right. So I'm not going to play any more of his videos. We're right at 7 o'clock. Let's get on real quick and we'll continue with the follow-up next week. Conversation is a big part of this program. You've got to get this portion down in order to really do the whole program. So what questions do you guys have? Concerns, questions, ideas, anything?
That was awesome, Stephanie. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I loved it. You know what? It just goes back to the basics, but it just reminds us to slow down. And so because you made a connection with someone, I love how he's like, slow down, get to know him a little, because I get busy and I'm like, go, go, go. But so that was awesome.
Yeah, it is important. And Kimberly, I totally get it and I understand it. And I see myself going through those things. But when we look at ourselves and we look back at our past, when we were just go, go, go and making all those connections, did we really enroll during that? And did we enroll people that continued? Or is it the people that when we really did build those relationships with, those were the ones that are here today?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you, okay, say the conversation is going too long. How do you nip it in the butt and shorten it?
Well, you can set your timer. And the great thing about today's world is, check this out. So I'm listening to you because I'm probably not talking, right? You're listening to that person and you're listening and you're listening, you're listening and, oh, my sound is off. That didn't work. Hold on. I was trying to be pretty cool and that did not work. Let's try it again.
Take two.
So I'm listening and I'm listening. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I do have to go. I have another appointment. I have to pick up my kids, whatever it may be. And because if you don't have anything going on, you've got to make another appointment. So that one's not a lie in that regards. Honey, I've got to make my next appointment. They don't know what that means. but you've got to make your next appointment. That's one of the easiest ways because they can hear it.
Okay.
You're not just interrupting them. You gave them the sound.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. William, I know you are on for happy hour, and thank you so much for that. We're just finishing up. I don't think anyone else has come on just for happy hour. Is that correct? Okay. All right. For happy hour, Kimberly?
What's happy hour?
I can't, honey, but I would love to, but I can't tonight. But
No, that's fine. I wanted to make sure because you made a comment that there were other members on, but I don't know if they're on just for happy hour. So Monique, you asked about happy hour. So we're doing an 11-day challenge. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. Thank you guys all. Go ahead and stay on, but then end the recording. Thank you guys so much for being here and the social media. We'll do this again next week. You can go and visit Jim's conversation in the Facebook groups and receive this information so you can see his messages and the formula. So again, we'll see you next week. Thank you. Thank you for joining.